What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Don't Tell Mom podcast.
Cullen, I swear to God, you screw with my chair every damn time we come in here to podcast. It's always messed up.
It's the ghost.
It's the ghost.
The ghost. We're going to talk about
We're going to
ghosting
talk about
here in
a
a
lot of
minute.
ghosts right
But I'm
now.
Cullen. This is my sister Britany.
Hey.
We're the brother and sister duo of the Don't Tell Mom podcast. We're back in the home base location this week.
Yeah, what's up?
If y'all are watching on YouTube,
It's good to be home. It's
I
good to be
know.
like comfortable in our spot.
have our headphones back on and
Right.
hooked up. We had some issues with the audio and the video, not the video, but the audio earlier, and we were like, "What do we do?" And then
Yeah.
just hooked
so
it
if
back
it sounds
up.
different, we're trying to. We got rid of the other stands, and we'll tell you all about all that.
Yes, we got a lot going on behind the scenes that we will bring to fruition, or is that what you call it? Fruition in the future here, near future.
And look, we got our other.
Got the co-host.
We got our co-host Sophia. Whee!
Hey! Oh my
Hey,
goodness!
look, she's matching mom. We're matchy.
She
today.
is so freaking cute.
Isn't she?
Talked about it last week, how she's like found her voice. We were actually looking at, hey, look at that big smile. We were looking at old videos of Gaines the other day. It was like one of those like 1 year ago, 2 year ago memories,
Yeah.
on your socials. And Gaines was going through that same
Smiley, happy.
well, just let me hear my voice.
Oh yeah,
roar.
Drive me crazy.
Trying to just get her voice out, and I was like, God, Sophia was going through that last time we were over at your house filming.
Yes, she is. She wants to tell you all about it. So. Well, this is what just happened. Just keep y'all in the loop. I came over here. I timed it perfectly. My baby fell asleep in the car, and I was like, Cullen, yes, let's podcast uninterrupted. The baby's sleeping. We're good. Well, we sat here and we dicked around for an hour and was talking, and the baby napped through the whole thing. And then right when we're ready to actually podcast, the baby wakes up, nap over.
That's how it always happens.
So we got an extra
my
guest.
gosh.
This is our special guest of the day.
Yes, Sophia.
We're going to try to get some more guests on. I want to know from y'all, leaving the voice memos and stuff like that or on our Instagram and whatever, and tell us, who you would like to see, because this is what I was going to talk about first. First things first, we have figured out, well, not me, Cullen and Katie figured out that we can actually get guests all over the world.
So with the Anchor app, there's a feature where you can invite friends or guests through the Anchor app, so they would just go on and then get an invite from us.
Yeah.
And then they would be on their phone, and we could probably even do it with some of you guys.
Right.
If y'all want to be in on maybe the next time we do a
Spit it
live
out.
show.
Spit it out, Cullen.
We could
Get
have
y'all to
some
call.
do
like
some
call
live
in, do friends.
live Anchor guests.
That would be so cool.
That
Hear
would be
y'all's
amazing.
Don't Tell Mom stories. What?
Yeah.
But that's awesome because they actually tested it out. Like, we've just never done it like that before. I know we had Ellie and Jared on that one time, and we had had all this stuff set up, and they had stuff set up to try to sync it together and all this. And we just didn't know that we could do that right there on our own Anchor app, and it was so much easier than we made it out to be.
Yes. Jared had to send me all his footage and all his files after, he's technically savvy, so it wasn't a big issue, but I was like, we're never going to be able to do this with just the regular person. They're going to laugh at us and be
like
what?
holding our phone up to the mic so they can hear.
Yeah, I'm like, why are we going to do that? That's kind of dumb. But before we go any further, y'all be sure to subscribe if you're new here. If this is your first podcast, go check out all 53 other episodes that we've done.
Yeah, we've been doing. We're seasoned.
Episode
we're all pros now.
54.
54. That's awesome.
That is
going
crazy.
Strong, folks. Yeah, and hopefully we'll be able to get now, since we can do remote guests. All they have to do is get the Anchor app, and it's free, and then they can put their video camera on themselves, so we can put it on YouTube too, and just send us that file, and we'll be able to get guests from all over the world.
Oh, no, it's exciting. So I've got a couple of people in mind that I've reached out to.
But who do y'all tell us?
Yeah,
Leave it
let
on
us
our
know.
Instagram. Go follow us on there, and then send us messages or comment or whatever, and tell us who you would like to see.
Tag them. Tag your
Let's get
favorite
some cool people on here.
influencers, and let's talk about some Don't Tell Mom stories.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all can hear or not, but in the background I've got a fan blowing on me, and if you listened to last week's episode, which why the hell haven't you?
Right.
If you haven't,
It's okay. The calendar catching up.
go check it out. And towards the end, I was getting text messages from Katie saying the fan's here, the motor's here, the air conditioning unit's here.
Ooh.
And here we are a week later, and I'm still got a fan on me because the freaking thing is still out.
First of all, Cullen, I don't know why you think that you could just watch a YouTube video on anything and do it. You are literally think that I'm a pro. I can watch one video and do it, because you're like, that's how you learn. You like to see it done. You're a hands-on learner. I am too. I get it, but not everything you see on YouTube you can recreate.
It's a game at some point. I'm like, this bitch is not going to beat me. It's
at the end of the day, though, it beat you.
It did beat me. So I don't even know if I talked about this on our main channel videos or anything, but just to kind of recap real quick, we got the fan motor in. I made sure everything somewhat matched as far as the part goes, the part number, the voltage, the model, and all that kind of stuff. But there was one number, the RPMs, which I didn't calculate, but I was thinking, and some of the reviews I read was like, oh yeah, if you get 1100 RPMs, it'll be more energy efficient than your 830 RPMs. So your fan's going to spin faster, and you're not going to spend as much electrical money.
There you go, veering off the course, Cullen.
So I ordered that part, and that was what was coming in last week on the podcast. Came home, spent till midnight trying to dink around with that, because it turned on at first. It wasn't that hard. I was like, this is easy. 30 minutes. I was in and out. And then 5 minutes later, the fan stopped spinning and the thing got overheated. And I was like, what the hell?
Oh, no.
And so it was back to the drawing board.
Wrong part.
Yeah, well, I was like, no, this got to be something else. So then I started going down a compressor route, and like that, once you got the welding tools out with like the blowtorch and all that, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'll call somebody.
Typical man response is to not call somebody in the first place. Like, how many man hours? Like, if you get paid, let's say you get paid $20 an hour, you probably spent like 400 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, time is money, Cullen.
I know.
So you finally called the guy, and what'd he say?
He came out. We luckily have a membership plan. So our membership included this maintenance tune-up or whatever, so we didn't have to pay for this. And so I just played dumb when he came out and was like, oh, yeah, tune us up.
Yeah.
We need a tune-up. This one's not working. I don't know why.
Playing dumb.
And he tuned everything, cleaned everything. They look brand new, by the way, now. He, like, just hosed them down and all this kind of stuff and scrubbed them with, like, some acid-based stuff to help get all the dirt off. But at the end of the day, he comes up and he's like, well, I got some bad news. And I'm like, oh crap. I interrupted him.
Did you break it? Did you break my damn air conditioner? It was working fine before you got here, I'm telling you.
Yeah. I was like, it's the compressor, isn't it? And he's like, no, it's actually a fan motor. Your fan motor bearings are going out, or they're bad. And that fan motor is probably too old to be running in there now, and you need a new fan motor. And so,
wait, Cullen's just bought a new fan motor.
It's in there right now. I mean,
he's trying to get one over on you, buddy.
Well, it wasn't working. Like, that's the reason I called him, was because it stopped spinning, like the brand new one. So I was thinking it was something else, and so that's when I had to put my foot in my mouth, and I was like, oh god, now I got to tell him this is a brand new motor. So I told him I got a new motor. I actually told him I had one laying around. Did
he seem like irritated that you tried to like pull the wool over his eyes a little?
Well, he I think would have appreciated.
He was like,
to know.
He already knew that.
Well, I know. I'm like, was he trying to call me out? And so he like knew it was a new fan, but he was just like gonna say it was a fan motor, so I would have to tell him the truth.
Right.
And I think he would have appreciated me to be upfront with him from the beginning, so he wouldn't have had to troubleshoot all this other stuff first.
What did we learn, Cullen? What did we learn?
Yeah, so anyway, he said, well, where's the box? And so I showed him the box, and he like compared the numbers, and he saw that the RPMs were different. And he was like, yeah, the RPMs have to be identical. Otherwise, your fan's trying to spit out, your unit's trying to spit out X number of RPMs versus what you have, and then it overheats and it doesn't spin. And so I'm like, damn. But luckily, I was able to return it to Amazon. Okay. They took it back. I cleaned it up. I used a Clorox wipe. I got it out of there, returned it. So I think
God.
There's like a restocking fee. Oh, up Chuck, cluck, up Chuck. But got that returned, taken out, and now I've just got to find the identical part, which I think I've found. And that's another thing.
It's probably hard to find that.
Well, yeah, it is. I had to call all these industrial people, and there's a reason that electricians have to be licensed and insured and stuff, and like these companies can't sell to the general public these high-powered electric powered currents, because you're gonna get the dad that's gonna electrocute himself, and then the company will get sued and whatever. So you have to have like a certain license. I don't know why. Whatever.
Hey, I've been there. I can't get. I like weed. I like wearing extensions and weed, but I can't buy it by myself. I have to get a hairstylist to buy it, because they only sell the certain kind I like. Only sells to hairstylists.
Because they want you to. I mean, they don't want you to. Pay the big bucks. Yeah, they don't want you to like ruin your hair, ruin their hair. Like,
well, I think it's they're in cahoots with the salons, because that's how the salons make their money. If everybody could just go on there and get them for wholesale prices, then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then the salons are out.
That's true.
So they're in cahoots with each other, Cullen.
They got a monopoly on us.
Yeah, they do. The big boys stick with the big boys. You know.
So this guy freaking basically, I said, okay, well, call me back with a quote, and because he couldn't get the part that day.
And the first part you already paid for was $150, right?
The first part, well, it was 130 or something.
So, but you had to send it back.
But I sent it back.
Got your money back.
Got my money back. Okay. I think. I don't even know. I need to check on that. But,
yeah, right.
So then I looked up the identical, like, drop it in, take it out, drop it in, identical motor, $157. So I found all that out, and then.
But now you got to find one that's the right one.
Well, that's the one. It was $157.
Oh, okay,
I've got to get it ordered. I haven't got it ordered yet, because I got to get this company to send the other people a PO, because they won't sell to the general public, and all this kind of crap. So,
okay, they're making it hard for you.
Yeah. So then the guy calls me back that was here, this technician, and he was like, "Well, I can get it done for you tomorrow. I found your part." And blah, blah, blah. And he said it was going to be $1,000.66 in and out.
Are you tripping?
And I'm like, this is a 10-minute motor fan replacement. Like, literally, it would take me 10 minutes.
So $150 for the part, which they're getting at wholesale. So $100 for them, probably. $100 for the part, and then the other $900 for labor.
Labor, I guess, and gas money. I don't know. Like, I was like, I almost laughed, but I just deferred to my wife. I said,
let me speak to my wife.
Let me just talk to my wife. Click.
Ghost.
So that's where we stand with no air conditioning at the moment, and it's actually not been that bad. No. Like, it kind of puts everything into perspective. Which,
well, your house is in the shade too. You're
we've got lots of trees, and it's one of those things that we've complained about over the years. Like, we wish we had more sunset views, and I hate all the trees.
But now,
we actually have spray paint on the trees out front and in the back, because we were going to, at one point, we went through with orange spray paint and marked all the trees that were going to get cut down, and that was just outrageously expensive, and so we never did. And
those tree cuttings.
Now we're like super thankful that we didn't, because it was providing all the shade in the hottest time of the months.
Yeah, but it's not probably the most energy efficient, because I mean, y'all's house is a little older, so it's probably not got the new new energy efficient go green stuff. Man, Cullen, sounds like you're having a week, babe.
Yeah, we've been having a couple weeks and a couple months.
You look skinny. You've been sweating.
Right.
Sweating it out. Get rid of that water weight, man.
Oh, my goodness.
It's okay. You're going to get the part come in. And, And your upstairs is air conditioning.
Right. We've been sleeping upstairs. The kids have been comfortable and everything like that. But just coming downstairs there. And in the morning, we'll leave the doors open and let the cool little morning air come in. And then about noon, we have to close all the doors and capture some of this, keep the heat out, because
get the fans running and all that stuff.
Yeah, it gets pretty hot at some points. But
well, that poor guy that came to help you, Cullen. You picked his brain though.
He did his he did his job. He did the tune-ups.
Yeah,
that's what he came to do, and he just happened to have to find out the other one was having some issues.
Right,
so
spread some advice on you.
Oh yeah, and it was funny. It was funny too, because I played dumb at first, but then when he came down. And I was like, oh, yeah, so you can hook the brown one up to C on the capacitor, and then that one's that on that capacitor, and da-da-da. And he was looking. I could just tell he was like, dang, this white boy knows what he's talking about. Like, how you get on it? Yeah.
Cullen's got a new profession.
Well, I asked him, I was like, I would love to get into this, actually, now that I've
now that you've already got into it.
Doing it. Yeah. And so he was like, well, come on, we're always hiring.
Right. I'm sure you probably know some like air conditioner, heating and cooling guys anyway. You probably should have just gone on Facebook and be like, hey, who do I know that can come fix this? But
well, shout out to somebody on my Instagram because their husband is an HVAC technician and he was trying to diagnose and help me with the problem via Instagram.
That's awesome. See, that's when you got the fam in. You got the village, right?
So, yeah, if anybody out there is an HVAC technician or has somebody in the family that does that, ask them how important RPMs matching up really are, because what's going to suck or what's going to happen is I'm going to get this new replacement part in for $157 and then it's still not gonna work.
I bet you that.
And I should have just paid the $1,000 to have that dude come out.
I should have just sucked it up and paid
and
it.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, is there's something else that he's not telling me about.
Cullen, you came from the same womb as I did, okay? We are our mother's children, and we do not want to pay full price for anything. We're going to haggle, and we want it for cheaper than the guy before us. We want it for cheaper than the guy that comes after us. Like, get it on the next guy. If you want to get a lick off somebody, get it on the next guy, because it's not going to be me. I'm not.
Speaking of haggling and all that,
I do some haggling. I do haggling every day. I'm always on Facebook Market haggling.
You are, and you like talked about in one podcast going over and getting some bushes that were laying around on the side of the road for free and haggling with the guys. You went up to a construction site one time and asked them if they could come use their backhoe and dig up some stuff for you.
Me $130 rental.
But so Facebook Market, in my latest video that just went up on
you've been posting some stuff
Monday. Yeah, I've been posting a lot of stuff on Facebook Market because it's just like
laying around.
I didn't realize how easy it was. It was always one of those things that was like, this is so tedious. Like, why do this when I can just donate it or whatever? But then you get your first. You
do porch pickup.
You do porch pickup.
You don't have to lift a finger. Really, all you got to do is take a picture. I'm about to start doing it too because yard selling is too hot right now.
Well, that's what we said in the vlog. Katie was like, "Why yard sell when you can just sit in the comfort of your bed and say, oh, I want that?" And
because then you got to deal with all these chicken heads out here trying to get something for nothing like me that's going to haggle with you, and then after you get a million messages. Thank God Facebook has divided it, separated your real messages from your marketplace messages. But you got to haggle with these people, and then they're going to ghost you. You're going to figure out a price. They're going to set up time and ghost you, or they're going to straight stand you up. Has that ever happened to you? That's happened to me.
Yeah, so
straight stood up.
In the vlog yesterday that we posted, it was called "Don't Tase Me, Bro," and I was talking about I was talking about how I had this big purchase, a drone that I got, and this guy tried to haggle me. And
you got two of them, don't you?
No, I've got two of them, but this was the very first one that I've ever had. Nothing's wrong with it. I just got the upgraded one. And this guy wrote me and was like, "I'll give you $100 less." And I was like, "Oh, I'll meet you in the middle." And he's like, "Okay, where? When? What time?" I was like, "Whoa, that was quick. That was easy. This is awesome." And so it's $650. If anybody wants a drone out there, is what I have it marked at $700 because literally I did all the math and I did all the research on it, and that's for the extra batteries and everything I've got included in that. It's a great deal for
put a fair price on the marketplace.
Fair price on the marketplace.
So you go to meet this guy and he ghosts you?
Well, so he messaged me and he was all about it the night before, and I said, "Okay, cash or Venmo?" And he said, "Thumbs up," or within the whole conversation, I said, "Cash or Venmo?" And then he said, "Thumbs up." And I was like, "Well, you didn't answer my question, cash or Venmo." So then I started just kind of questioning, okay, well, maybe gave him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he doesn't want to tell me he's bringing $650 in cash, and then maybe prepared to rob him or whatever the case may be.
Cash only.
Yeah, and so if I said cash only, I wouldn't have asked the question. But these days Venmo and electronic transactions are the way to go.
Cash on them.
And so that was just kind of. It's one of those things when you get that gut feeling that something weird's going to happen, something weird probably is going to happen, and so he. Oh, yes. I was like, what is that warmness?
She got you.
Holding Sophia, and she just got me good.
Yeah, I'll take her back.
She's okay.
Right.
But, so I get there at the time he told me to get there, and I didn't have a message. And I was like, all right, well, I'm here. Are you,
right.
What kind of car are you in?
What's your ETA? Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason the vlog was called Don't Tase Me, Bro, was because I took a taser with me because I was like, I don't know. Like, I've never done this. And so I didn't know what to expect. And, it just seems like
protect yourself.
An easy way for somebody to
for
either
big purchases
get
like that, yeah.
drone or
for
like
a $10 dress or something, you don't have to take your taser,
right?
But like, yeah, something that's cut several $100s, yeah.
So I was just prepared. Like I didn't know what I was going to do with the taser unless I had to. I would have figured it out. But he never wrote me back. Then
ghosted you.
20 minutes goes by, and I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt.
You're sitting there like, oh, he got stuck in traffic.
I'm like, oh, he fell asleep. Katie even said, maybe his phone's on Do Not Disturb, and he just hadn't gotten your message yet. It was 10 o'clock in the morning.
10 o'clock in the morning?
10.
I was about to say, Cullen, you were definitely getting robbed.
We've got that thing that she can stand in somewhere. If she wants to stand up and play.
Is it down here?
I don't know. I think so.
Okay.
Let me text Katie and see. Okay. We've got a thing where Sophia can stand up.
I'm telling you, we had this worked out where she was going to be napping while we were talking.
I think it's in the upstairs garage. I'll see if Katie can bring it down. So eventually 30 minutes goes by, and I was like, well, maybe this is a normal time to wait. 30 minutes on somebody to make such a big purchase. And finally I wrote him and was like, okay, I've got five more minutes, and I gotta go. And then he never wrote back. And now with Facebook messaging, you can see when your messages have been read. Woo! Yeah. Baby girl. And can you bring down? Hang on. Let me write this. Can you bring down that stand up thing for Sophia when you get a chance? Hey, this is real life, folks. You're listening to the podcast. This is the Don't Tell Mom podcast, real life. But so yeah, anyway, he ghosted me, and I felt robbed, essentially. But speaking of that, I started looking into it because I was like, surely this has happened to more than one person. Like, I don't know.
I've got some stories of getting ghosted.
So Brittany's got some ghost stories, she said. But so this one I just looked up, it was in Memphis, Tennessee. It was supposed to be a friendly transaction, quickly turned into a scam and a robbery. And this guy pointed a gun at my head.
That's what I'm really scared about is like Craigslist killer. You know what I mean? I don't want a Craigslist killer.
Yes, I know.
Situation.
If you move, I will kill you, it says. I was like, dadgum. So he was selling an Apple Watch on Facebook Marketplace, and agreed to meet someone who was interested. He was looking at the watch and he liked it. Turns out the man was interested in the watch but didn't plan on being fair. When the victim looked down to count the $200 in cash, see, I'm dealing with way more than $200.
Right.
They say he pulled a gun. At that moment, the only thing I was thinking about was my life. I'd be like, take the drone, bro.
Right?
Or I'd shoot him with the taser.
Yeah, Cullen's bringing a taser to a gunfight.
He ran off with the watch. Instead of chasing him, he went to a store and called 911. That's when he found out even the cash used to pay him was fake.
What? Like counterfeit or like Monopoly?
He had fake money? That's crazy.
That is crazy. He was serious. He's probably got a whole bunch of that too, just going door to door, Facebook to Facebook.
That is crazy. So I think what happened was he's pretty good with the computer, so he helped police find him. So he may have had like location turned on still on the watch, and that's how they tracked him down.
Oh, yeah, that was good. That was real smart, criminal. You thought it all figured out with the fake money and everything. You forgot to turn your location off, dummy.
That's crazy.
Dang, Cullen, that's crazy. Well, I'm glad that didn't happen to you.
No. Like,
I mean, I've been ghosted like that before though, and it pisses me off so bad. Like I was selling a TV, and it's funny because the TV was actually
keep talking. I'm gonna run up and grab that thing.
It was actually one that Mom and Stan had, and I think it was like Stan's old TV or something. Well, then, so I go and I post it on Facebook, and I'm not thinking about the fact that people can see when you post something on Facebook, people can see it, like your friends and stuff. And my mom gave it to me for me to use, and then here I am posting it on Facebook to sell it. So I felt kind of bad about that because I know she saw it. And then I ended up texting her and was like, oh, do you think Stan's going to be mad that I'm selling his old TV or whatever? It just didn't fit in our house and blah, blah. She's like, no, we don't care, But I'm sure out there that there are some people that do care. I know that one time, that same TV, I was selling it, and I had as soon as I posted it, I probably had 1 million people message me and ask me about this TV and try to haggle with me or whatever. I think it was $100. I mean, it's like an older TV. And so people were out there trying to haggle with me and all this. And finally I, found somebody that was like, yeah, I want it for the full ass price. I'm coming to get it right now. And I'm like, awesome. I'll come meet you because I don't want just random people coming to my house. And so I came, I met this person, and of course I do my research. Like, I'll go on your profile and I'll look at you and be like, do you look like a hoodlum? Do you look like, respectable? Or is your Facebook profile picture you with your guns ablazing, like all thuggy and whatever? No, you ain't coming to my house. So I I got up, and at the time I'm pregnant, Cullen. I'm 9 months pregnant when this happened. Man. So I'm pissed already. And I go and I get this TV in the back. Thank God it's already in the back of my van. And I take it down to meet the guy. It's raining. I'm out in the rain, thunderstorm raining, pouring cats and dogs. And I'm out there in the rain with this daggum TV waiting at the CVS for this guy to come. And my guy kept me on the line. He's like, I'll be there in 5 minutes. I'm on the way. I'm turning right now. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I got back. I had to stop and get the cash. And he kept this going and then just ghosted.
Dang.
So I wonder if there's people out there that do this for the fun of fucking me over.
I know. I felt like that.
You know what I mean? Do you think people just do this for fun? They're just sitting at home, no intention on ever buying anything.
Uh-oh, we got more spit up.
Yeah, story of my life, Cullen. But you know what I mean? What if there's people that do this?
Yeah, no, I felt like that after I got the ghosted. I was like, did he just sit at home last night drinking a beer and was like, oh, here's a drone. Let me just see what he'll do, and then I'm just not going to show up or say anything. And he never wrote back or anything.
I would post his information all over your.
Well, I know. I even wrote him. I was like, I would have appreciated a message one way or the other.
Okay, now on the flip side of that coin, Cullen, have you ever ghosted somebody?
Not in that aspect.
I have, and I feel terrible about it. But I have. I mean, sometimes I'm just going through the marketplace, just pressing buttons. You know what I mean? And they make it so easy. You're ask for details, and it just automatically, all you have to do is press a button. It says, is this available?
Yeah.
And then they'll write you back and be like, yes, I have it. Well, would you like to come see it, or blah, blah, blah. And then crickets.
Yeah, right.
Because 30 minutes later, I didn't really need that bad. That was an impulse. That was an impulse purchase. Thankfully, you didn't contact me right back. In the 20 minutes it takes for you to contact me back. If you're not sitting on your phone waiting for me to message you, then that impulse buy has passed for me. It's already come and gone. So
right.
I've done it to people, and I feel bad about it. But what about y'all? What do you do? Leave it in the comments on YouTube or send us voice messages. Have you ever ghosted anybody? And how do you feel about it?
Yes, I would like to know. Have you ever been ghosted and with a gun to your head? That's just crazy.
Yeah.
There's so many more.
I'm glad that you didn't have to use your taser.
I know. I'm still kind of nervous about it.
Yeah.
I'm almost do I just say pick up only at the house? But then I don't want to.
Well, then you got your cameras and stuff, and I don't know. So I actually went 2 days ago and got her a bumbo. Y'all know what a bumbo seat is? It's a assisted sitting for little babies. So I'm sorry, she's freaking out. So I got her a bumbo seat the other day. And she absolutely loves it. But I got it on Facebook, and it's crazy because she lives right next to my mom. She lives 2 houses down from my mom's old house. Not where my mom lives now, but her old house where I grew up. And I was like, that's crazy. This is our neighbor. I'm about to go see their house because from the road, you can't really see it. You have to drive down into their driveway. And so I drive in and I'm like, oh, this is really nice. And it feels so private because it's down in that same on that same cliff. It's like down in a hole,
Yeah.
And I drive down there and I'm excited about, I'm sorry, y'all, my baby. This is the story of my life these days. And Mom comes over, Greenberry comes over the other day and she's doing this. She just will not stop talking all day, every day. And Mom just laughing. She thinks it's hilarious. She's like, payback, baby. But anyway, I was excited about like meeting this lady and be like, hey, oh my gosh, you're my neighbor. Like I grew up right here down the street, like 2 houses down from you. And I messaged her. I'm like, I'm here. She's like, it's on the porch. I was like, oh. So she didn't want to be like, sometimes I want to meet you. Maybe we could be friends. We like the same stuff.
Grab that Patsy thing over there. That thing used to work for me.
Yeah. Well, she's not. This is her daddy's girl, Patsy. But she just, I don't know, y'all. She's teething. She's happy. I mean, it's not like she's like screaming, crying.
No, it's not like she's upset. She's just like
wants
got
to
her
talk.
voice.
She's going to be like me, Cullen. She's going to be just a little like crazy, outgoing, and talkative all the time. And I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Well,
but yeah.
I found a couple other stories, but I want to hear from y'all. Yeah, if y'all have gotten any other ghost stories. Speaking of ghosting, have you like in your chair being all screwed up?
Yeah.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, I actually kind of do believe in ghosts. I think that people can stay and haunt you if they have like unfinished business.
Oh man,
like in the movies.
That's
I don't know for real, but I do think that there's aliens.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would believe more in aliens than I do afterlife, like a ghost coming back. I would believe more in like an alien from a different planet. Which, by the way, you know that planet that they found that they said I forget what it's called, but they said it's like the most likely to have like life form on it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Is some
no.
Well, anyway, I have like the NASA or the science nerd, posts that come up on my phone. Look right here. And apparently they're doing a mission out there. Like they're sending a spaceship out to this planet that they think there could be a life form on. It's like the closest to Earth they've ever found. And they've got it figured out, I think. What's that guy's name with the cars? Telsa guy.
Yeah. Elon Musk.
Yeah, he's got this whole space thing, I think, figured out. So now they're planning a mission to that planet, and a lot of you are probably like listening or watching and going, it's called this, dummy. I just can't remember what the name of it is now, but Colin, how cool would that be if they found life on another planet?
I think it's out there. Like, do you realize how small we probably are in retrospect to everything?
Oh, I know. We're just little bitty. We're a marble. We're a marble in a kid's playhouse, right?
Here we go. We got a little TV distraction here. Let's see if this works.
Okay. Well, good luck. She's just going to try to eat your phone. She don't care about that.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot of... I've seen Joe Rogan recently talking about, like... There's actually a new documentary out on Netflix where this guy... used to work at Area 51. I can't remember the name of the movie or the show.
I know what you're talking about. I started watching that too, and he's spilling all the beans.
Yes, and like he is legit saying
he has like receipts, y'all. He's got paperwork signed by the president. Like this has to remain confidential because will scare the public and blah 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 blah.
Yes. But he like talks about exactly what these spacecrafts are made out of and what they look like, and I haven't finished watching it, but golly, I remember when I did watch it, I was like, God, this guy is like, he's either legit crazy or he's like talking about this stuff like it is like he's been there, done that type thing. Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, hey, I believe it.
I know. I'm
a believer, and you already know from when we were kids, Dad was a believer in it and all that.
Right.
Kind of passed that on to us, but yeah. So anyway, Colin, I'm so sorry about your air conditioning unit, and I hate that it's not working.
I know. We asked our viewers to send us money because we're like, y'all just send us money. We need some more money. We're broke. We're broke over here. But that kind of, we're going to talk about a little bit about like the ins and outs of how influencers make money on YouTube.
Yeah, because it's been kind of crazy for me. Like y'all know that they've been doing this for a long time, and so they're kind of used to the ups and the downs and all that stuff. But for me, like y'all know that. Well, if you watch my personal channel, then you'll know that before I was working before, and before I had the baby. But then when she came, the plan was that I was going to stay home with her. I mean, for what I made, at my last job, it would have cost me more, I think, to put her in daycare than I was actually making. Yeah. So it's just not worth it. One, and two, it was always the plan to stay home with her because we don't want to, I don't know, I'd just rather be me that's around her. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'd rather be me that she's familiar with. And so anyway, we had the opportunity to do that. Corey makes enough money to where he can support both of us. But at the same time, we got another mouth to feed and it's just, y'all know money. It's money. We need it. We need all of it.
It's interesting all the different ways social media influencers can make money. We've got our merch, link below. Y'all go get some.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are probably like, how do you even do this for a living? Like, how do you make money? Because when I first started doing this, I was like, I didn't make any money for the first year. YouTube wouldn't even approve me to get monetized on YouTube because they were going through that YouTube...
Adpocalypse,
and
now
they just weren't.
They've changed their terms and service. Like you've got to have 10,000 subscribers, and before you can even get monetized and stuff, because you don't want somebody uploading one viral video that's never had an account or anything like that, and making money off of it, and
it's more work for them and to go in and improve and all that. Yeah, so I get it. They changed the how many subscribers you have to have in order to get monetized or whatever. Well, I didn't get monetized until, probably a few months ago because I'd been doing it for about a year and then finally got monetized. Well, then I started getting brand deals and y'all have been doing this for a while, so you know all about that kind of stuff. And I didn't. I didn't know. I was just like, hey, you want to pay me to talk about something that I would have bought anyway?
Right.
What? And so, that's exciting because for me as a stay-at-home mom, I feel so helpless if I can't pay at least my own bill. You know what I mean? If I can't contribute anything other than just staying home with the baby, I just feel, which y'all, it's totally enough to just be. It's a hard job to stay at home with your baby.
It's a full-time job.
It's not like a full-time job. It's like a 24-hour a day, never have a moment. You know what I mean? You are on all the time. You don't get a break, all the time. So it's a very hard job, but at the same time, to not be able to contribute any money for me, because I'm a proud person, is just really hard. And I've always made my own money and whatever. And so that was just, a tough pill for me to swallow. And my husband's amazing, but I wanted to contribute. So when these brands will reach out to you, or there's these platforms you can go on and you can send in proposals to the brands, to companies. It's like doing commercials. You know what I mean? It's think about the commercials that you see on TV while you're watching your TV show. All that advertising and stuff, people are figuring out, okay, YouTube's a big platform. It's just people don't even have TV. They just have YouTube. I have YouTube TV. That's what I watch for TV,
Yeah.
So you got more people watching YouTube than you do your local cable channel. And so that's where the advertisers want to go. They want to go and they want to pay people that have, an audience that you can even tell the demographics for them, that, they can see that most of the people that watch my personal videos are women between this age and this age. What's up, girls? Hey. Thanks, ladies. Women power, right? But they can see that. And so if, they're selling man beard cream, then they're probably not going to ask me to advertise for them. But if they're selling bras and panties, then they'll probably be like, I'll work with you, right? So we'll put in a proposal for me, it's just a couple $100 or whatever every time. And for 3 minutes, and I tell them it's a 3-minute brand integration, and I'll talk about your product during my vlog at one point in time. And the way that I see it is that YouTube only allows me, I know that yours is different because you have more subscribers, but for me, I have 18,000 subscribers, and so YouTube will only let me put out a 15-minute video at a time. So
I forgot about
I get cut off. So I think that was part of when they changed everything.
We're able to upload a lot here.
Yeah, you can do as many as you want. I think you were godfathered in or something.
Well, on the Don't Tell Mom podcast, though. We can upload
we do
an hour. There's got to be something.
I don't know. Maybe I just didn't press the right button or something. I don't know. But for this whole time, I've only been able to do 15 minutes. If I try to upload a 16-minute video, YouTube's like, no, your video's too long.
That's so weird.
15 minutes.
You need to look into that.
Well, maybe that's all they can handle of me. You know what I mean? They just need me in doses, which I get that. But so I did, I've reached out to these brands that out of 15 minutes though, okay, all my vlogs are usually around 15 minutes. Out of those 15 minutes, if you enjoy watching me for, 12 of them, then you can watch me for another 3. Like, if you want to watch me for 12 of them talking about my daily life and things that are going on, then that extra 3 to watch me talk about a product that I actually like, you know what I mean? I'm probably not going to talk about it. Like, I've told a brand before, I said, you don't want me to talk about your product.
Yeah,
because I'm not going to say it's good. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was actually one that we did a long time ago that they actually sent the product and everything.
Sent it back.
And it was some type of, I can't remember. It was kind of like a hydroxycut type diet pill or something. Mm-hmm. And I was just honest with them. After I tried it for a little while, I was just like, I don't feel good. I don't like the way
you jittery and whatever.
Yeah. And so I was like, I can't, it was hard to, it was hard to turn down the money, obviously, because that's the thing. But it was just like, at the end of the day, I don't want to peddle this, promote something, that is making me feel weird. Imagine what it's going to do to other people, and then that kind of thing. So I had to turn it down, and I was like, "You may send it back. I've taken a quarter of the bottle already," but they're like, "No, just keep it." And I ended up throwing it away. But I think the traditional. The way traditional media is these days versus the internet world is just so crazy, because these companies will reach out and want to basically help sustain our livelihood with what we're doing, but they're not having to spend. They can spend like $100,000
on a 30-second commercial,
versus whatever they're paying us, and it's half the freaking tiny fraction of what they pay for a commercial. And they pay for y'all, but more people are probably watching yours than that. I was about to say the reaction or interaction on any product that we promote or anything like that is probably greater than anything they'd get by paying a
when
TV
somebody's
commercial.
just watching a TV channel and then they're getting up to pee while it's a commercial. You know what I mean? Like, it's just different.
Now you've got these people. Everybody records these shows and then you just fast forward through the commercials. So that's been another thing. So these integrations and these natural,
where you're the actual person that people are watching, and then you're talking about the product. That's like the best way to do it. And some of these brands are tripping because they're like, we'll give you, like pennies to the dollars. Like, no.
No. They're like, my budget isn't that good. Well, that's another
You got
to
like haggle. You got to negotiate with anything in life. Everything's negotiable.
Well, that's the other aspect to the whole thing, was like, you essentially... It all started off as a hobby for us. Yeah. And so to have that mindset flip to where it's a business and you turn yourself naturally into a business person with the marketing degree, which you don't have, or a business degree, which you don't have. Yeah. It's just crazy how you have to like learn. There's probably YouTube videos. Yeah. And I've looked up several YouTube videos on like.
It's like I got screwed.
How to negotiate better brand deals and stuff like that. But.
Well, yeah, and a lot of it's like you don't know. But, that's life. Like, even if you do have a business degree, your first business deal, you're just winging it. You don't really know what you're doing. You know what I mean? And you got to learn how it works. But it's funny that you said that about having to flip it from a hobby to a business and how it's different from y'all, because it's like it changes your whole mindset and passion and desire for that thing. You know what I'm saying? Remember how we used to dive? Yeah. Well, then when I started diving for high school and I had to go to the meets, like during the summer, being on dive team is one thing, but when you're diving for like your school and it's like a class and you have to, and then when, if they offer you a scholarship, then you have to perform while you're at college, and like it turns it from something that you love to do and a hobby that you love to do into something that you have to do. And then you get that like resentment and bitterness towards it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I get that. But at the same time, it's fun. It's a fun way to make money. I'm blessed that if it weren't for you and Katie, I'd have never had the subscribers that I do have. So thank y'all for watching me and for coming from them over. And thank y'all for, helping me get started with it, because really, what would I do if from staying at home, I'm trying to figure out a way to make money. I was actually talking to this lady that might come on about, entrepreneurship and stuff like that. And it was like, well, what can I do to make money and still contribute to my family and, be able to buy diapers and be able to buy stuff and pay for my van and, these things. Yeah. And I'm just blessed that, I have the opportunity to do that with YouTube and the podcast and stuff like that. So we do really appreciate y'all's support and watching us. Now, one thing I know Cullen No, you can keep her. I'm just kidding. I don't know why. It's just natural for me to go grab her when she starts crying. But yeah, you can have her.
Yeah.
But like one thing, you know, that's different, or I think is different, because my mentality is like, why would I? Like anybody that watches me, then you're watching me because you know my personality, and I'm like, I go to thrift store and I, you know, haggle at Facebook Market, and I'm just, you know, I'm cheap. I'm like, you know, nobody wants to spend a whole bunch of money. I want to save money and I want to make money, and you know what I mean. I'm just a normal person. So for me, it's like, of course, if somebody's going to offer me money to do a video I was going to do anyway, of course I'm going to take the money. And y'all know that. Y'all would do that too. But it is work. You know, we do have to like edit the videos. You have to film the videos, edit the videos, send it in for approval. They have to approve your content, you know what I mean? Or tell you to make a bunch of changes. You have to go back and forth with them and all this and be professional and, you know.
Yeah, there is a lot of behind the scenes. Girlfriend.
Come here.
She is being vocal today, y'all. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that happens that we don't necessarily show. We have to post a lot of unlisted approval clips, and I'm sure y'all have seen over the course of the brand deals in the years that, oh wait, he wasn't wearing the same shirt in that clip, or they don't have the same countertops in that other clip, because the approval process. And that's another thing, is the stigma when brand deals and people first started doing brand deals on YouTube, I think has kind of shifted, because
that's what I was about to say. Is it different?
Yeah, in the beginning, more spit up. Jesus. In the beginning, it was like, oh, you're such a freaking sellout. How could you talk about this product? And
yeah, I hate that. I hate it when people call like I hate it when people say stuff like that. That was what I was about to say, is that I think that's crazy, because it's like, hang on, I'll tell you in a minute. Finish your thought, Colin. I'm going to change her.
Yeah, there you go. But so, yeah, just the whole stigma of the sellout. In the beginning, it was like, oh, man, I don't want to have to deal with the freaking negative comments when this is like my profession. This is what I'm trying to do. And so I think it's been a good thing for these creators that have like owned up to it. There's several that I know personally that like embrace it, and they make the best branded content that they can, and it's almost fun to see them do these commercials. Yeah, I was showing you some the other day. Do these essentially full out commercials on their Instagram or Twitter or whatever. For these companies, and it's like, dang, look how nice and produced this is. This is better than something that they could get done by their marketing team back at the headquarters. But also, it's
well, it's funny because you make fun of me because I'll put a brand deal on every video. I don't care.
Right.
Y'all can talk shit about me. Bring it on. Talk shit. I don't care, because, you know, I'm honest with you. I'm like, hey, this is how I'm trying to make money. I don't have a regular job, so
yeah.
If y'all would, you know, just be supportive. Like, I want people to be around me and to watch me and to interact with me that are supportive and happy for me and want to encourage me to do better and be successful as the best I can. And, you know, there's always going to be the naysayers and the negative Nancys, but I mean,
yeah, I think it's definitely taken a turn though for the better lately.
I understand to an extent.
Yeah.
You know, but I'll put one on every one.
Yeah, right. The other thing, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Other thing I was thinking about as far as brand deals.
How it's changed and now people are.
Yeah, how it's changed, and the world of brand deals is completely flipped over the course of the years. And it's almost exciting when I see like my YouTube buddies post a brand deal. I like immediately like it and comment, and if I can, and you know, that kind of thing, because I'm like, I'm naturally and like truly excited that they got that brand to work with them, you know, that kind of thing.
I want to know, like, how do they calculate how much to give you, you know?
Well, there's like
how do they calculate that versus like we were talking about a commercial? Like, how do they calculate what your video versus, you know, what they should pay for your video or offer you to pay for your video versus what they would offer a commercial for the same thing?
Yeah,
like half the time.
It's kind of hard because in the beginning we had companies that they were like, send us your rate card, and I was like, what the hell is a rate card? I don't know what that is. So I had to like ask some of my YouTube friends if they had a rate card and blah blah blah, and it basically you have a certain rate for a mention or a dedicated video or a Instagram story, and that's another thing, is it's kind of naturally flipped over to Instagram because of the YouTube apocalypse and stuff like that. But Instagram's really picking up with brand deals and stuff. But the rates vary from company to company, and sometimes you do have to bite the bullet and just suck it up and say, okay, well, this isn't what I normally would take as far as the rate.
Right.
But since I do like the product, and since y'all have been flexible, blah, 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 I think it's also interesting.
You negotiate, just like with everything in life. You negotiate it.
Yeah. I think it's also interesting that it's so easy to get complacent in the spots in life that you are, as far as like whenever we are working with a brand and we take a picture or we post a video or we send them a video to review, we get the feedback and they say, oh, well, this needs to be changed, this needs to be changed. And it's so easy. And we shouldn't do this because we're so blessed and thankful to be where we are, but it's so easy to just kind of have like a negative attitude back towards the
for wanting you to change them then?
Yeah, and it's just like,
well, I thought it was perfect the first time. You're the talent, you're the producer,
you worked so hard on it to begin with,
everything,
and then they want you to change something. But then at the end of the day, looking at it, it's just like, okay, but
it's a job.
It's a freaking job, and why am I complaining about having to retake a picture? You know, like,
yeah.
So there's
I said, because it changed your mentality about the whole thing, changed from a hobby to a job. You know, and like, who wants to go in on the weekend? Who wants to go into work on the weekend?
Right,
you know what I mean? Or like when you already finished that report and sent it to your boss, and he sends it back and says you didn't do this, you're going to be like, oh, I got to go back into work now and finish, change it.
It's so hard to put a paycheck or an amount on time too. Like
you got to know your worth and your value.
Yeah, your time is money. Like if I'm not making content or making something for a company, I could be doing it for another company, or I could be working on my next vlog, or I could be
because you do want to limit how many brand deals you do because you don't want your audience to think that you're just doing brand deals. You know, so it's like that spot that. I only want to do one brand deal this week out of, like, say you have 3 videos and you only want to do one brand deal a week, you know, because you don't want to fill up your videos with brand deals. And then you do, and you plan on doing that with that particular brand, and then, you know, they're really difficult or whatever. You're like, well, I could have done this with somebody else, and used that spot with somebody else that had a good product
and all the emails and the back and forth and messaging and all that goes on behind the scenes just to get to where you're like, oh, crap, I'm not even going to work with this person anyway. Why did I waste all that time?
Right. You know, then you got merch, and you got the YouTube, like the actual YouTube AdSense and all that stuff.
Yeah, it all kind of calculates and combines, and it's been a fun journey to learn about and figure out along the way. But
it's like a business. I mean, you know,
it literally is a business.
Better than a degree. Just get in there and do it.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's like kind of like we talked about last week. Like going to Mexico, I learned more Spanish going to Mexico with Dad for that week than I ever did throughout the
Spanish class for an hour.
Yeah, the 4 years of class, or 17 years of hearing it growing up. It was just
you have to be in an experience to really understand,
because you learn the slang and you learn like the mannerisms and you learn so much more just diving in, and kind of like we did with the daily vlogs. We just started daily vlog and dove straight into daily vlogs instead of posting like once a week or twice a week, and it makes you learn quicker. So
well, anyway. I mean, at the same time, too, and I'll say this, one of the things that I really like is that a lot of these companies, especially on Instagram, but they'll give you like a discount code or something to offer your audience. So like, hey, I know. I'm an affiliate with Puffy. You know, if y'all watch I do like dedicated videos. The only company I'll do like a whole video for is Puffy. It's like a mattress company, and I really like their product. And I know a lot of people like the purple mattress and the Puffy mattresses and all these mattresses that come in the box, you know, get sent to your house. That's what Puffy is. And, you know, they're awesome to work with, and I really like their product. So for me to say, okay, I really like this bed, and then you say, oh, and then me be able to give my audience a discount code, there might be somebody out there that one of y'all might want a bed and be shopping for that exact same type of thing and be like, oh, awesome. One of the vloggers I like that I watch, she just gave a discount code for this same mattress, and you get 20% off or whatever, you know?
Yeah, we do that a lot too.
So it works out. Like, I feel like it's actually pretty cool for the audience too, you know? It's not just like, hey, sit there and listen to this and get nothing.
Totally.
You know?
Well, oh crap, I just got a
Y'all,
I just
this
got
baby's driving me crazy.
This has been a crazy podcast. Thank y'all for sticking to it.
Yeah,
through.
right.
I just
If you
got
have, you might
a
have
notification that I got to post my next picture. Actually, speaking of, so I'm gonna go do that.
Okay.
Let's go get that baby.
No, Cullen, it's not going to change. She just is going to be like this all day. Let's go do what to her? Like what?
No.
Nothing. She's going to sit here and talk my ear off all.
Oh my goodness!
Spit up on me all.
Oh my gosh! Well, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank y'all so much for watching, and thank you all that y'all to say that we really do appreciate all of your support, and your views matter, and your comments and your likes and all that stuff matter, and we just really appreciate y'all supporting us and following us on all of our platforms and all that stuff. So
subscribe if you haven't already.
Yes, definitely subscribe.
We will be back next week with another episode. Look out for some changes coming up soon.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Mom,
scream! Bye, y'all. Baby, you're driving me crazy.
That was
You're driving me crazy. I'm sorry.
That was a tough one there. No, it's not your fault.